Hi, hello.
Hello?
Is this John?
Yes, is this Mr. Bryson?
Yeah, this is Tommy Bryson. Just wanted you to discuss be recorded and potentially uploaded to YouTube. How can I help you?
Uh, well, I just want to say thanks for calling me. I appreciate it.
Okay, awesome. How can I help? Thank you, bro.
Uh, um, uh, so I didn't want to have to write any questions. I don't want to be too long, but
Mm-hmm.
my 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 main I guess my main thing is that like I'm trying to find different ways to increase like my income.
Okay. What are you currently doing right now?
I'm a student.
You just a student?
And I'm trying to go to the military.
You're trying to get to what?
I'm trying to go to the military.
To the military. And how old are you?
20.
20. Where are you from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, Florida. Okay, nice. So I'm guessing, are you gonna go straight to the military? Are you gonna go to college first? You got a trade job first? What's the plan?
No, just National Guard.
The National Guard. And what's that process like? Like, how long does it take for you to actually go through the whole process and become a National Guard?
I, I'm not exactly sure, but it's around like 8 to 10ish weeks.
Okay. What's your pay gonna be like?
Um, I don't exactly know, but I'm starting off as E1, so I guess I'm the lowest rank.
Okay. And what made you want to become National Guard?
Uh, just I guess to make me like more of a responsible man and uh, something I can level up in, something that keeps me busy, um, and I guess something that looks good on my resume and that I guess everyone respects. So
Okay. So the only reason that you chose the National Guard is to kind of in a way like self-develop yourself. Does that sound right?
uh, yeah.
Okay. Now, first of all, when you do become a National Guard, I'll thank you for your
Mm.
service then. However, the main thing
Okay.
is that if you do try to do that stuff, just make sure it's actually what you want to do, right? Because it's not
Mm.
like you're not risking your life. You are. You never know what's going to happen. So just make sure that's actually what you want to do because there's a lot of ways to get respect that doesn't include those things right there. If you want to do that stuff, you want to defend the nation and all this stuff, that's awesome. If it's not, if it's just this idea of like, Tommy, it's the only way for me to get respected in my family or my
I
community,
don't know. I
it's,
don't know.
it isn't.
It,
But
it,
it,
it's something that I actually want to do.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So if you want to do that, I'm guessing some of the benefits are basically you get to go to college with some cool benefits, right? And some discounts.
And yes, sir, and like some I guess I get a VA loan. I'm wanting to serve for the 6 years.
Once you serve for 6 years,
Yes.
and when do when do the college benefits start? After 6 years also?
Oh no no no. I'm saying that's when the I'm saying I'm planning to serve for 6 years, and that's if I get hopefully an honorable discharge, that's when I'll receive receive be able to receive the VA loan.
Okay,
But if like they'll give hopefully give me my money just I think I'm not completely sure, but I think right when I get back from boot camp.
all right. Now the biggest thing is every question that you have that you don't know the answers to, that
Mm.
I might not know the answer to either because I'm not into the army stuff, but that answer is on the
Sure.
internet, right? So when you
Mm.
go into this thing, right, you can go in there kind of like with a blindfold on, or you can walk in there knowing exactly what to expect. It removes a certain level of anxiety. You know what I mean?
No, no, that's my major question. I don't have any anxiety.
No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, for example, whenever you're going somewhere and you have anxiety because you know like what to expect or whatever. What I'm saying is like
Sure.
just like a lack of confidence in what you're doing. What I'm saying is right. So if I'm gonna go into college to do accounting, but I know nothing about what to expect, I'm gonna be nervous in some way. But if I before I go to college, I look up accounting, look up how everything works, the benefits, the potential jobs out there, the cons, the pros, that's gonna help me out a lot more. My benefits, when do I start getting them? The same thing applies here. So all these questions, for example, like Tommy, after 6 years, I get to do the VA stuff. Then I get, for example, the college stuff with the GI Bill, like all this stuff. Just make sure when you walk in there, like how much will you get paid? All this information is on the internet. All this information is public information. So you should go out there and say like, hey, let me find out all these things, write down everything. So the only thing I have to worry about is boot camp when I get there. And it's not like, hey, I didn't expect this or I didn't expect that. Does that make sense?
Uh, yeah, it makes sense, but there's some things I don't exactly like know, and like for example, I don't know when I'll get promoted, or
That's
I
fine.
don't
That's
know.
fine. That's fine.
I don't know when I'll come back, and but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's fine. Because certain things are unknown. Like you get in a promotion or anything like that. But if you like it, that's what you want to do. My advice would be this, right? Whenever you see people getting, for example, a VA loan, the big thing is, hey, I want to put down very little money or no money, right? And it sounds like this massive benefit. But in a lot of ways, it might be, for example, a massive liability. Because now you're able, for example, to buy a more expensive house that really you can't afford, but you're just not putting down any money on it. And then you have this issue where you bought a house you can't afford because you couldn't even afford a down payment. You don't have any cash for anything. And if something does go wrong, right? Because I think you do get, for example, like some monthly benefits, something like that. Isn't that the way it works?
Yep. Well, we get paid for drill.
Yeah. So if you do get like some monthly benefits and you rely on that income, what I'm saying is while you're there, just make sure if your goal is to come out of there and say, I want to have cash, I want to have potentially become an accountant or whatever else you want to do, just make sure you come out of there with money. If you're saying, Time, I'm going to be there for 6 long, hard years, even if all you make is $20,000, if you save 5K, which is like what, like 25% of your money every single year. Well, over 6 years, 5 times 6, that's $30,000 in savings, potentially. All right.
I haven't calculated completely, but I just did like a rough estimate of, I think
Yeah,
it,
yeah. Well, I'm saying the
I'm
lowest thing possible. I'm just making an example here. But the goal is when you do go, just follow a budget, right? And stay out of debt. If you're staying out of debts, you're saving up for emergencies. So when you do like stop the whole process or whatever, you can have that money on the side and everything is solid. If you want to start investing, possibly you can if you want to also into index funds and so on. Have some money on the side set aside when you actually go to college. So that way you're good to go. And by your question that you actually left, you want to go to college? That's the whole thing, right? Also?
yes. I'm kind of deciding majoring in economics, and
Okay.
kind of maybe I might do my master's, and because right now I don't know if there's miscommunication, but I'm living with my parents, so I don't really have that many or hardly any expenses, so I'm just kind of trying to stack as much cash, and I just kind of like help them around the house,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so and I mean my only recurring or major recurring expenses like gas. So I don't really. I mean, even
Do you
myself,
work
I'm
right now?
covered for. I do like Instacart and stuff like that, but I'm looking for work.
Let me ask you a question. Why don't you go to college directly to do economics or whatever you want to do instantly instead of going to the guard?
Uh, what do you mean?
Why don't you just go to college instead of going to the National Guard?
Cause I would be doing the guard, and then I would go to college on the side.
So you can do the National Guard while you're also going to college? You can do both?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then awesome. If you can do both, even better. Because my big thing was basically that I thought you wanted to go to the guard because you didn't have any money to pay for college. Now, when you do go to college, you can follow
Mm.
this little like little plan, which is basically you go to community college first to get, for example, your general education courses. Those, I mean, the credits, those are the cheapest ones to actually get. For example, in a community college, once you're done there, after those 2 years, you can transfer those credits over to a 4-year school. So now you already did those 2 years and you got them for a massive discount. When you go to that 4-year school, like a state school, apply for scholarships, everything possible that way. And you also have cash and a job, and because you will have money coming in. But that way, you get this massive discount in the front end, those first 2 years, transfer them over to the state school, and then you do those 4 years. Now, why choose, for example, economics?
Well, I'm not exactly sure of what kind of my career ending, but I'm really trying to concentrate on real estate. At least for in the future, the development side. And I might get, again, I said I might get my master's for accountancy or in accountancy in the future.
Here's what it sounds to me, John. It sounds to me like you're 20 years old and you're trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. And not knowing comes from a lack of information, and that's fine, right? So what I would want to do is basically I would grab a piece of paper and I would write down everything I want to do, right? When it comes to majors, maybe I want to do accounting, economics, real estate, entrepreneurship, whatever it is. Write them down and do all the research possible and all these majors right here. What is a job prospect? Can I find a job after I actually graduate? How much is it going to cost? How much is it going to make me? Do I actually like it? How would I know if I like it if I haven't tried it? The answer is you go online, you go on Google, and you can actually take some like little college like courses like for free on YouTube to see exactly like, hey, is this something that I'm actually going to want to do? As far as like real estate, you can probably just get a real estate license and get into it that way. Economics is a little bit more difficult, but when you do it at college, make sure to get something that's actually more specific. Okay?
Okay, well, I've done my research. It's just I haven't had the like a certain internships or that experience, so it's kind of hard to.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
It's not. You won't get. You probably won't get those internships just yet, right? But what I'm saying is, if I wanted to do accounting, right, the right thing to do, because I graduated in accounting also, so I'm telling you this. The right thing to do is basically say, hey, let me go maybe buy one textbook in accounting. Let me go on YouTube, take some courses on accounting, right? It's just to see if you like it, just a little bit. If it sounds like it's interesting, you'll know, right? If it's interesting, you'll know. You can go ahead and move forward with it. It's not about actually diving deep into the business and everything like that, because you probably won't get that opportunity. If you do, bless you. But if you don't, you can still get like a little textbook on economics or whatever it is. Go on YouTube, take some courses on it, economics 101, 102, whatever it is, and see, hey, this sounds interesting to me. Because a lot of times the thing is that we make up this idea of what accounting is, economics is, or whatever major it is out there, but we don't actually know what actually goes into it. So what I'm telling you is, you either buy like a little textbook, a little course on it, or just watch YouTube videos on exactly what the entire job prospect actually is and what the day-to-day basis actually is. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Well, the kind of research, again, like I'm not saying that I'm right or I could be wrong, but that I've done, like, or let's say if I listen to the people that I kind of respect in my field, and I look on like their LinkedIn or even like what they did, like what major and how they went about their life. So that's just how I came to choose about my decision. I kind of like want to model what they did. Obviously not exactly, but
that's awesome. You have like mentors, and that's awesome. You know, when I went to college and I picked accounting, it was just because someone that I admired told me, hey, Tommy, you should do accounting. It's a good degree, all this stuff, right? But I also admire, for example, David Goggin. You know who that is?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a runner, you know? I admire Casey Neistat. I'm not going to be that type of vlogger. Warren Buffett.
Sure.
I'm not that type of investor, right? The thing is, it's okay to admire people, but it's very important to try out what they're actually doing for yourself, just like by buying a little textbook, a little course online, and a little YouTube thing. Like, that's their life. That's their calling. You're going to have your calling, and you're going to know exactly what it is when you give it a try. If it is what you want to do, right, because maybe that person you admire does do that thing, what's the big problem with just buying, like, investing into a little textbook, or, for example, just taking a YouTube class? You know what I mean? That's all it is. Just to see if that's what you want to do. Because there's a lot of routes to success, and you can still become successful not doing what they do. But the core idea is you got to find that exactly. It's three things. Find out something that you actually like, something you're good at, and C, something that's going to make you money. If you find that balance right there, you'll be happy doing what you're doing.
Sure. But I couldn't figure like this, and I'm not trying to like put myself down, but I don't really have something that I'm, I guess, good at. So I'm trying to.
Bro, you're 20 years old.
Good at.
You're 20 years old, and you don't know what the heck you're good at yet. The thing is, right, you have no skills. Just like when I was 20 years old, I barely had any skills either. You're not like 40 with a job that you had for the past 20 years. Skills is not something you're born with, it's something you develop over time. So that's not the whole point here. The point is, when I was in college, I remember I spoke to this professor, and it was in an Excel class, very stupid class. But he said he got me this one book that I loved a lot, and I read that book, and he taught me a little bit about stocks. And when I heard about stocks, it sparked. I knew, hey, that's what I want to be a part of. In some way, I want to learn about investing, and in some way, I want to have people experience that same spark by teaching them about it. And that's why I picked finance as YouTube. The point is, you don't need experience or any skills. What I'm saying is, you need to find that thing that's going to spark you. So that means take 4 hours out of your day or 8 hours out of your day, go on YouTube and research all these little majors, the little courses, and see if anything sparks you. If it sparks you, then the job is next. Hey, now my job is this sparked me, so I'm going to go ahead and learn this skill. Accounting, you got to learn that skill. Even like running, you got to learn that skill. Going to National Guard, that's also a skill. You learn it. Nothing you're born with. If you're not good at anything right now, that's fine. You don't have to be, but you do have certain skills that you're good at, whether it's, for example, talking to people, whether it's, for example, sales, whether it's, for example, being a nice person, whatever it is. These are all little categories that you actually have that can in some way affect your career. It's about leaning into the things that you're good at. You'll find out what that is. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
It's okay, John. Go ahead.
And no, I wasn't saying that I was like a complete loser when I said like I wasn't getting anything. But
I'm not assuming that. I'm not assuming that. Don't worry. You're good.
Again, like no. But it's just I'm not good at something that's gonna, or at least right now, that's not making me like quote unquote like a lot of money. So like for example, I take like really good care of my health. Like I've played tennis for years. I've
awesome.
For basketball for fun, and I run a lot.
Awesome.
And some jiu-jitsu. But like that's not gonna make me like that's for my health's sake. So like in the money category, it's not.
Let me tell you something else, right? Not every hobby has to be monetized. That's false. And you're 20 years old, and you don't have to make $20,000 a month like every other YouTuber that talks about it like that. Okay, that's not true. You know, for example, I love playing video games. I'm not trying to make money from it. I like eating stuff. I'm not trying to make money from it. I go to the gym. I'm trying to make money from it, right? It's like my little hobbies that I enjoy a lot. But the big thing is that I love talking about money, so I try to monetize it. It worked out for me. But if it didn't work out for me, I would still be that guy giving all my friends the same advice every single day, because that's what I like to do. So the thing is, maybe like the whole tennis thing, basketball thing, health thing, whatever it is, you have a story to tell. So if you want to do something like that, just try it out. You never know what's going to make you money, what's going to make you money. And if it doesn't make you money, at least you documented something to say, hey, when I do have kids or grandkids, they can be like, hey, look at my Uncle John or my Grandpa John here in this video, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't think trying things out is ever going to be a waste of time. Experiences are very important.
Sure, but because for me, there's other things like I believe I am like sociable and
Okay.
and like I'm good at some like salesy like negotiating some stuff like that. But again, like for me though, I still have to because again, what were you talking about before is like I feel like I do have like a passion for, like, for real estate and that can be kind of, I won't say like my moneymaker, but just because I do want to. Because I've had like a bad habit of like chasing this like, shiny object syndrome. So
you have what?
I don't know if that's it. I'm kind of making it's like chasing this shiny object syndrome.
Yeah.
So I kind of just want to like hone in on chasing like this shiny object, like going from like one thing
the
to
shiny.
the next.
Okay, I understand.
So I just want to go and hone in on one thing, on one industry, and just kind of develop. Even if I never become like a big name, but just do the best that I can.
And by the way, the truth is, say for example, all right, so let me act like I'm John. I'm good at negotiating. Okay. I'm good at skills. I live in Florida. I'm 20 years old. Good at tennis, basketball, all this stuff. But I'm also into real estate. All right, so what steps can I take here? well, maybe I can work, for example, in a little real estate office. Maybe it's like a secretary, even cleaning desks, whatever it is. Now I see what the
Sure.
whole little vibe is like. If I kind of like it, I can say, hey, let me go ahead and get my license. If I get my license, okay, great, and I can go ahead and try to make some sales or whatever it is. And by the way, the thing is that I think it's partially in a way like kind of like YouTubers' fault and also like my fault because I kind of do the same thing. But there's this idea that you gotta be the best at whatever you do. You just gotta be the best version of yourself every single time. That's all it is. And you don't need to be, for example, like I am the number one this whatever person in real estate in my area, because it's kind of like when you hear, oh, Tommy, I want to have what Tommy has. Well, you sit down on my desk, you wake up at 3:30 a.m. every single morning, you work until 5 p.m. and that's what you do. And you make at least like 6, 10 videos a day, right? But is that gonna make you happy? It might not. It might make you happy. What my point is basically that whenever you choose this massive goal, understand the sacrifices that come with it. Everything has sacrifices. So if you can work 8 hours a day, make $80,000, $100,000 a year as a real estate agent, that's awesome. If you're investing correctly, following a great plan correctly, in 10 years, you don't rely on that job anymore. But if you still love, by the way, I mean retire in a way. But in 10 years, once you're done with that whole thing, if you still want to do real estate, you keep doing it. But you have your family taken care of, your kids love you, all this stuff. It's not about being like the best at anything. It's about being the best version of yourself and making sure you're actually happy with your whole lifestyle. So ignore like the whole little social media where everyone's like flashing their ass and all that nonsense, man. And like flashing their cash and all this other stuff. Like it's cool for views and all that stuff, but just make sure you're trying to be the best version of you. And if you're doing that every single day, like success is just going to be a result of whatever you're doing.
No, yeah, sure. I can understand, but like what you were saying with the social media thing, because like I kind of like messes with me too. Like and like in my mindset, like not that I don't have anything major of like I have all my basic needs and stuff like that, but just it's for me. I always wonder like how do certain people I don't know if it's bad questioning, but how do certain people like afford like very, very nice things that are not like traditional like doctor, lawyer, or like the traditional stuff.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Let's just go through this, right? I'm making a list right here on my little book. I have a pen here. I'm gonna write down three things, right? What are three things you want that you think you can't afford? Go ahead.
I mean, as I said, I have all the basic stuff. I was just curious. It's not that
Just go ahead.
what
are three things that you want that you can't afford? Just go ahead. Let's play this game with me.
I mean, in a couple years, I see like Tesla would be nice. Maybe Model 3.
Okay, $30,000. What else you want?
I mean, I'm not very material. I just want to travel a lot.
Okay, you want to travel. So let's say 5K set aside, 5 to 10K set aside for travel a year. Okay, what else you want?
It's not more like the stuff. It's much more of like being like more, like I guess comfortable in your life. I don't know. Like just having more
financial freedom. Financial freedom. Right? Everything has a name to it, you know. But a lot of times we get so focused on what people have that we forget what we actually personally want. People know exactly what they don't like, but they know very little about what they do like. Very important to understand what you actually do like and what you want out of life. Okay. Now at Tesla, let's say you become a real estate whatever 2 years later. Now you're 22 years old. You make some sales. You make $50,000 your first year. Can you afford a Tesla? The answer is no, not just yet. But let's say 2 more years pass, you're making some decent amount of money, you owe nobody any money, you have money for emergencies, and you're also investing money. The thing is, look, my financial plan says this, you know, my whole life changed when I saw that Warren Buffett was driving a 10-year-old car, and I was like a 19-year-old kid trying to buy like a Lamborghini Urus. I felt so stupid. You know what I mean? My whole perspective changed when I said, you know what, I want to buy this massive mansion. And Warren Buffett was living in the same house he lived in. He was like in the 30s. Now, I'm not saying, for example, it's a bad thing to want nice things, but you don't want to, again, it all comes down to sacrifice. If I want a Lamborghini Urus, it costs $250K. I have to basically make $250K to actually buy that. But more importantly, that's $250K that I'm not investing or for example, a house for my family to have financial freedom a lot faster. Now, what you want is very simple stuff, man. It sounds like all you want is just freedom, a nice car, and to be able to basically travel every now and then. If you follow the plan where you say, hey, first step is stay out of debt, and you want to save for emergencies, to have a full-blown emergency account. Because by the way, when you do real estate, if you do real estate, it's going to fluctuate based on markets. It's just the way it works. It's one of those fluctuative jobs. So if you stay out of debt, you don't owe anybody any money, you save for emergencies, you start to invest, let's say 10, 20% of your money for your retirement fund, and you buy a home following the 33% rule, right? 15-year mortgage, all this stuff. You pay it off in 9 years by buying a home on a 15-year mortgage, paying extra towards it. Well, now in 9 years, right? Let's say you're 30, you own a house, you have a bunch of money in your investment account, you have, for example, an emergency account already funded, and now you have, for example, by the way, usually shelter where you live is usually half of a person's income, or at least like a third of a person's income, but you don't have to worry about that anymore, right? That's the whole idea. So now if you're making, say for example, 80K, you should have, for example, like almost half of that income to do whatever you want. So maybe like around 40K. With that 40K, if you want to buy a brand new Tesla, you can if you want to. With that 40K, if you want to go out, travel with your wife and kids, you can if you want to. And you already have financial freedom. But I think financial freedom comes first before all the shiny little objects. But it's fine if you want shiny things. You know, I want shiny things too. But my first goal is, let's get financial freedom first, and then you work towards all that stuff. Because financial freedom is going to give you the ability to get whatever you want without having to worry about, hey, if I get this right now, because you can get a Tesla for like $400 a month. It's not a big thing. But if you get it, now that's now you can't afford something else, like investing $400 a month. Does that make sense?
No, again, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's just again, I'm not a very materialistic type of person. But if you look at someone like I'm pretty sure you know me, Kevin.
Me, Kevin, yeah.
Yeah, but is there I guess like a limit? Because I mean, he's pretty like, I mean he has, I mean I don't know how much millions of I guess quote unquote assets. So is there like a limit, or is it just keep going until you I don't know, like so what's the balance of like, because you don't want to the new book by Bill Perkins, like Die with Zero, like because I think he talks about kind of like living on to not like keep working so much and then you're old with a bunch of money. Like what's the balance of like I don't know. Is that wrong to?
A good book I read is Tap Walking to Work. That's the Warren Buffett's book. The idea is, okay, let's look at Me Kevin, right? Me Kevin is a great YouTuber. I don't know him as a person that much, but he sounds like a great guy, right?
Sure.
Now, Me Kevin makes $1 million a month, most likely, right? He said it in the past before. Now, why? Sure. He works a lot. He also happen to be working, for example, in a field where we can make a lot of money. Like, Me Kevin has like 1 million subscribers. I have 300K. I can make between 20K to 40K. I'm not even at the highest point of YouTube, but it's one of those things where you can actually earn a lot of money. Now, the thing is, I'm pretty sure that, for example, the thing is that Me Kevin, I remember I told him before, I remember when I spoke to him once, before he started doing like the whole news video, I told him, you should do these news updates every single day. I would love to see that. He was like, are you sure? I don't think people are like, I was like, you should do that. You know, probably a lot of people actually told him that. But the idea is the guy loves what he does. Warren Buffett loves what he does. I love what I do. That's what I'm saying. It's so important when you look for a career path, something that you like, something you're good at, and it's going to make you money. My version of retirement is by the time I turn 30, actually like around 26, I'm 24 now, I should be financially free. But will I stop working? The answer is no. I enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? I can still go out there and have fun with my wife. The point is not to die with a people have like a wrong perspective. It's not to die with a bunch of money. You know, it's kind of I don't want to be the richest man in the cemetery or whatever. But the point is to live a life where you have the freedom to just do the things you want to do with the people that you want to do them with. That's all it is. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if your avenue is real estate, make sure you love it. If you love it, and you work towards financial freedom, and you have it, for example, in 10 years, by the way, Kevin is like, I think Kevin is like 27, right? 27 or no, he's about to be 30, I think. I'm not sure how old he is.
I
But I
think
know
we're
he's
all-
yeah, he started like I think like around 19 with the whole real estate thing, right? So it's like 11 years of experience in his belt. So it's not like it looks YouTube makes things look like it happened overnight. I've been doing YouTube since I was like 11 years old, also. So it's kind of like it's not an overnight thing. So the point is, whatever you want to do, if you work at it very like hard and you try to become the best version of yourself and you actually enjoy it and you love it, in some way you're going to become the best version of yourself, which will bring success. And when it brings money, you work towards financial freedom, and then you have the freedom to say, hey, maybe I don't want to work this often. Maybe I want to spend more time on vacations or buy a fancy car or whatever it is. It's not about dying with a lot of money. It's not about being like overworking yourself, all this stuff. If you actually you ever play tennis? Because you play tennis, right? And
yes, sir.
you start playing, and before you know it, it's been like an hour and you didn't even notice, or like 2 hours, you didn't even notice.
Usually, I usually play for an hour to 3 hours.
Yeah, but does it feel like an hour or 3 hours, or does it feel like you're playing?
You depends on the day and depends on who you're playing with, but I guess I understand your point.
Yeah, it's kind that thing was an idea that was made by Csikszentmihalyi. It's the author of Flow. It's the idea when you're doing something that's challenging enough, you also enjoy it. You get into this perspective of just how time flows. Like it just pauses. You're just enjoying what you do. If you find a job that's like that, and by the way, every day won't be the same. Every day I don't wake up and be like, yes, 3:30, yeah, 6 videos today. It's not every day you wake up like that. You know what I mean? So, but if you enjoy it, you'll get through it. That's the whole idea. Don't be like worried about the money. If you're doing, be worried about the money obviously because you want to have good prospects. But because that's why I did accounting also. But just make sure what you're doing, you like it on some level. It'll make things a lot more easier.
Right, and again, I don't disagree with you, but do you think it's because for me, I was raised as in like I don't know what's it called, like I guess a middle class saying of like money's or you should care about money, but money's like the root of all evil, and
That's
money
not
will
what
make
the
you
Bible
happy and stuff like
says.
that.
That's not what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say that. That's fake. You should. People have all these little like fake verses of the Bible. The Bible never said money is the root of all evil. Did you know that?
Oh no, I was just telling you like how I was raised, but
Yeah, but that saying comes from the Bible. But the Bible never said that. I want to do anything you find any little objections, just look them up. Look up that whole saying. Does the Bible say the money's the root of all evil? You'll find out that the answer is no. I found that out by Dave Ramsey, by the way. The answer is you accumulating money does not mean you're selfish. And and middle class people, a lot of them are broke. So accumulating money is a problem. So the solution is you waste it and you spend it on trash and you buy liabilities. You have a lifestyle you can't afford. It's not a good idea. Accumulating money gives you the ability to buy your own freedom, to do a lot of good for society also. Because if you have freedom,
no,
go ahead.
uh, thank you. No, it's like my family's not broke. It's just my I guess more on my mom's side. She thinks that I guess I'll be like kind of a I guess you know I'm probably no Grant Cardone.
Your mom said you're gonna be like Grant Cardone.
No. I'm saying kind of like to have a picture, have an image in your mind, like because he's all about like. I mean, I think everyone knows he like loves just cash, and like he loves.
That's not true. You have to remember, right? There's an internet version of everyone. I try to avoid that whole thing, but Grant Cardone is excellent at marketing. The guy has two beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife. He's not and he has a jet or whatever, but it was like a strategic move or whatever with his whole business. Will that make money for him? Probably. Will he fail in the future? Maybe. Who knows? But one thing I learned is I remember I read this in the very first book I read about money. It was called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Eckhart T. Harv. It's a great book if you haven't read it. And he says in that book, money does not change you, it's going to enhance you. The qualities you have, they're going to be enhanced. Before I was making a lot of money, I was taking on, for example, a lot of risks. And And the minute I got a lot more money, it enhanced my characters of being a little bit more conservative. Also has my character being a little bit more given and all these things. However, it just enables you to be able to do exactly what you want to do. Now, if you are, hey, my name is John, and I'm a butt face and I just do bad things all the time. Well, now my name is John with $1 million and I can do a lot more butthead stuff. Does that make sense? But if my name is
I'm
John,
not a, but
you're not, you know, you're not. That's not, but that's my point, you know? So if you are a nice person and you are, for example, trying to help people and do all these things, John, when you have, for example, a lot more money, you'll be able to do those things, you know? And I think for sure, for example, a lot of times is that basically maybe your mom is a victim to this, but it's about how the media portrays rich people also. So I'm pretty sure when you do become wealthy and you do become rich, because if you have the right mindsets, there's no way you might mess up because you might have this whole mentality. But if you have the right mindset and you keep it up for a very long time, your mom's going to see what money's going to do to you. It's not going to change you in a bad way, but it's going to enhance you. If you're a giver, you'll be able to give more money. If you like working, you'll just enjoy everything. You'll be able to do whatever you want to do. It'll enhance your qualities. That's all it is. That's all money does. It enhances you. Whatever features you currently have. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. But isn't there? I'm not trying to be like again as a pessimistic, I guess attitude if it comes across. But isn't there? Are some people just I guess like, I guess fortunate or I guess fortunate in life like incarnates like kids I guess they fly private and then they go to like how many different countries in a short period of time like.
Do you know
is that like there's
are you
some
saying,
people just like I guess
are you saying are you asking me if people are privileged and stuff like that?
I mean I know some people are but is it just because you can't go back. I don't know how to I guess maybe ask this but you can't go back I guess in time so are some people yes are privileged or just fortunate to where like the family that they're born into.
Okay. It's none of your business. It's just life deals you a deck of cards. You play with what you have. I didn't choose to be born in a third world country to a single mom. My stepdad died. Another father figure got murdered. My dad also passed away. My biological dad. If I could have the perfect pick in life, that wouldn't be it. This is my life, you know? I've had to work for daily videos for the past like almost 3.5 years to just make something happen. Some people make a video once, they blow up. It's none of my business. The only way you know if you're not going to succeed, the only time you fail is when you stop trying. And by the way, Grant, there's always every story a lot of times as it's kind of like this, right? You can't judge someone's story because how easy it looks for them. It's kind of like if I say, well, John, you were born, you have two parents, John?
Yes, sir, I do.
So if I say, for example, well, John, everything should be easy for you because you have two parents and I didn't have two parents, so I'm never going to be as good as you are or whatever. I can't play tennis. Are you crazy? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just like little excuses you tell yourself. So it doesn't matter. And by the way, although I got drawn a very bad hand, right? My mom is a beautiful woman. She's the best mom ever. I love my family, love my little sister, people I've been able to meet, opportunities I had. It's all about how you choose to view life. I remember in a book I read, The Richest Man in Babylon, he said a lot of people, they go through life looking at it from this distorted point of view, where all they see is just all the bad in life and they ignore all the good. You gotta get rid of that victim mindset in a way. When you, by the way, I live in the Bronx, you know, where people, a lot of us don't make it. You know what I mean? So the point is, you gotta ignore all that, whatever thing you're going through. Whoever's like succeeding faster than you ignore all of it. You just focus on yourself and improving yourself. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter. And by the way, it's kind of like the crazy thing is that basically everyone's problems are important. Because if you're dealing with a problem right now, that problem is the biggest problem to you. So I can't undermine your problems. Even though my problems might be harder than you, but I can't undermine your problems either. It's like, for example, people that live in poverty in the United States would be in the top 10% of the entire global like money making thing. Like people that are poor here would be rich in other places. So everyone that's outside the U.S. might be like, hey, oh my gosh, I got a bad hand or whatever. But you still got to work what you have. It's just the way life is. It's not fair, but it is what it is.
No, again, sure. Oh, I thought you meant Puerto Rico.
Huh?
Oh, I thought I saw a video on Instagram about you moved to Puerto Rico.
I'm moving to Puerto Rico. I'm going.
What?
I went last month. I'm going again on Monday, and I'll be permanently staying there in June.
Well, again, I wasn't trying to have, I guess, the certain mentality. I was just saying, like, but don't these guys try to have this like certain type of weight like or image to I don't know how to explain it, but it's more like that they want you to have to think that I guess your life sucks, and then they want you to kind of have their life is like a certain
It's marketing.
I guess
It's just marketing. If you want to understand the way the world works, you got to read books and you got to get the knowledge. If the whole thing in economics and capitalism is just the exchange of goods, volunteer exchange of goods. So if you have a problem, one way for me to actually get you to buy my product is to show you like, hey, if you buy this product, well, here's what you can have, a life like mine. And another way is basically I can also exaggerate your situation and say, hey, your life sucks, you know? Like let's say for example, Grant Cardone, right? And no jab at Grant Cardone here, right? I don't really care about any of that stuff. But the idea that you have this plane, there's this image about it, right? That image is important because it gets exactly the clients he actually wants. It's a part of the game. It attracts people. It's kind of like, for example, like if you understand just human psychology, it's the way it works. It's like how Ty Lopez, when he first started making videos, we know who Ty Lopez is, like the first person.
In my garage.
Yeah. You remember all the girls he had in his garage, all the cars? It's because he knew for a fact that was going to grab attention. It's not, for example, like being evil, but it's understanding what works and saying like, hey, if you want to change your situation, here's what you can do, and I'm going to offer you the solution. But if you take it to a step further, you're like, you're telling me my life sucks or whatever. If you don't like it, ignore it. But it's just a game people play. You can't really take anything personal. Is it ethical? Maybe not.
So him and people like and Libertarian, like all that stuff is just, I guess, fake.
No, it's not fake at all. It's their lifestyle. Some people, that's their life. And some people, their life is kind of like Mayweather. Mayweather showing you, for example, 15 cars and this mansion and all these girls around. That's his life. And if he wants to use that to kind of get you to help, by the way, the person that helped me the most, believe it or not, most likely was Ty Lopez. I took some of his courses and I took away a big takeaway, was basically, Tommy, read a lot of books if you want to get more smarter. And he helped me a lot. Now, he had this lifestyle and he showed it to me. And he kind of told me like, hey, this is possible. You know, when you live somewhere and all you see is like, kind of like, well, middle class here, people are broke here, all this stuff. Seeing that in some way motivates you. For some people, it might, for example, make you depressed because you think you can like achieve it. Yeah. But a lot of those finance people, right, what they're trying to do in a way, they're using like evil to do good, you know? I don't know about Bill Berzerian. That's the guy that won all the money and stuff with his dad or something like that. But then he went broke or something. I don't really care. But I know Grant Cardone in some ways trying to do some good, although he's going to make money from it because it's just capitalism. Ty Lopez is also trying to do some good. Gary Vee's also trying to do some good. And all these guys are trying to do some good in some way. If there's no value, there is no transaction. No transaction means no money. So in some way, what they're doing has to have some form of value to it. And if it doesn't, they won't last long enough. It's just the way the game works.
Oh, right, but it doesn't, like, for example, Gary, like, doesn't he say like he is the right one, and then like the other people like that sell a bunch of courses?
What does that matter for you?
I mean, I guess I want to know like who's not good to follow and who's.
You try them all. You just try them. It doesn't matter. You know, my whole thing was, I remember I learned this from Charlie Munger. You should read Charlie Munger's book. It's called The Almanac, and he says your job as an intellectual is to just learn from everyone. You throw away the bad and you keep what's good. All these guys in some way, man, they have some form of value. No matter how crazy they look, no matter the crazy things they do. Tal Lopez taught me knowledge is a great thing. Grant Cardone told me, hey, you got to stack up your money. Marketing is very important. Branding is very important. Gary Vee taught me, hey, you got to do a form of what you love and you can't give up. You got to keep pushing. I actually met Gary Vee. All these guys have a form of value. There is no right person. There is no messiah when it comes to this whole YouTube guru thing. There's just you using what they do to improve yourself. The only important person in this whole scenario is just you. You're trying to improve yourself. So it's not about picking favorites here. It's kind of like saying like, well, who do I follow? Tommy Bryson, me, Kevin, Graham Stephan, Nana Ryan, Erica. Who do I follow here? I don't know who's the real one. Doesn't matter. You listen to all of them if you can. You take the good, you throw away the bad. And if you find out, hey, this is not what I want to do, then you just stop watching whatever you don't want to watch. It's all it is.
Again, I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying like, because I think it just kind of like gets in people's like mind that they're just buying courses, and then I think even Gary talks about that, like they're kind of hoping on this course or mastermind that I guess will make them a lot of money.
You know why quick results courses sell? You're going to do economics, right? You want to do economics, so you got to understand this. Read Adam Smith,
Okay.
Wealth of Nations. Things sell in economics, right? Because there's a demand for it. People have a large demand for quick fixes. Hey, 6-minute abs. Okay. 30 days to a millionaire. Okay. Rich with real estate, no cash, no nothing. Okay. All these things sell because there's a demand for it. All these people are doing in a way is just filling up a demand. And sometimes the thing is, the way I see it is, if you buy a course with a credit card, a lot of these courses have, for example, like a money back guarantee or whatever, you're going to get your money back. I don't even have a course. You know, I'm kind of more like leaning into the whole Gary Vee aspect of having a course, but I'll probably make a course eventually, just like have everything like in one place. But the idea is that all these things exist because there's someone out there that actually wants that. That's all it is. Anything that exists out there is because there's some form of demand for it. And sometimes it's very ugly, nasty things. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. And I have another, I guess, question. I guess throughout my college years, I'm obviously trying to find work to kind of increase my income, but I'm trying to find like more internships within my field. I guess it's kind of, I don't know if it's a risk or because I think a lot of my friends just want like more of that kind of job security, but I'm trying to I guess think more like entrepreneurial. Is it just trying to get more internships? Is there any way that I can is that a bad thing to do, and is there any way that I can stand out to get those, I guess, to compound my knowledge base?
Okay. How can getting an internship cost you job instability when you don't even have a job? Makes no sense. The idea is when you're in college, the three most important things are making connections. The second thing is, I lied, it's just making connections. It's just networking. That's all it is. So you network, for example, with your teachers, with your friends there, with the little workshops that you do, and you get, for example, internships, connections there also. But there is no job security in anything, in YouTube, in business, in anything, right? It's just, for example, probabilities. That's all it is, and you won't always be perfectly right. That's why it's so important that when you make money during the good times, you save money for emergencies. So when things go wrong, you have a chance to actually go ahead and basically say, hey, I have 6 months here to kind of figure out exactly what I'm going to do next. But there is no job security in anything, whether it's in economics and personal finance. There's just like jobs that you tend to lose less. But every job can be lost. Every job can turn obsolete. But it's the game of odds.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, but no, I'm just saying like for me, I'm trying to, I guess, not get paid a lot right now, and I guess sacrifice that to gain more experience. Where like most people that I know just want a job that's lined up for them, if that makes sense.
Okay, so the thing is, if you can do both, great. So if you can get an internship that's paid, and okay, 2 examples here. I got offered an internship by X company, it's paid, but that company sucks. I got offered an internship by a company B here, but they're really good, but it's not paid. Which one do I take if you're in college? The answer is obviously the one that's actually best for you. right? Because that's actually an investment in yourself. Because that time, the experience there, in some way, everything's ROI, and not everything in life is money. Not every again, it's transactions of goods here. Not every transaction is monetary. Like when it comes to like money being exchanged for labor. Sometimes it's just information and knowledge being exchanged for labor, and that's fine also. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? It's more like if you go to that company that makes a lot of sense and you take the L with the money, it's fine as long as they're giving you information that actually is going to increase your value later on, which equals in some way more money for you. It all flows back through.
Sure. It's just my, I wouldn't say fear, but just that I don't, I'm not trying to be negative, but I don't get that internship. So should I just go for more of the...
If you're telling me I want to do real estate, you're going to get a lot of no's. You got to get used to rejection. Okay? Rejection is a part of life. That's all it is. Sure. Rejection is a part of life. Whether it's a YouTube, you don't get a lot of likes, or Instagram, or they like my picture. Rejection is a part of life. It's just the way it works. If you want to do anything, you just got to go out there and apply for everything. You apply. You'll get denied by maybe 80%. You might get by 20%. You accept something. That's it. It's just about experience.
Okay, but sure, but when I get rejection, I'm like, should I just keep persisting and at the companies that I really want?
It depends, but you don't want to be annoying because they'll blacklist you most likely. It's more like if you get rejected, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying maybe you can do a follow back. Say like, hey, thank you. Maybe when I have more skills, I can come back and maybe offer you guys the services that you actually do deserve or whatever it is. It's about follow back skills, right? But it's also you don't want to be like, ha, take me now, you know? You don't want to be annoying.
Sure.
Hey, John, this was a great call. Okay, I actually went over the 30 minutes here because I enjoyed this call so much. But if you do want to schedule, for example, another call, feel free to do so. These calls are free, but it's not only like a one-time thing. So if you want to schedule another call, feel free to do so. But I got to get another call right now. Someone's waiting for me. Okay, bro?
Sure. Is this going to be on your channel or?
Yeah, potentially. So it's going to be recorded for sure. I'm telling you your rights because, you know, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
But it might be uploaded depending on if it's actually good or not for like the content. But 99% of the time it gets uploaded. Okay. On the Tommy Bryson channel.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bryson.
All right, man. Have fun. Peace out.
All right, bye.
All right, guys, so I completely forgot that basically I had another video to actually do with somebody else. So I'm so sorry. I'm ever late because basically another caller got me kind of on the hooks here, okay? And I enjoyed this conversation a lot that was basically about nothing. I'll be honest here, because it's more about everything external. What do these people do? What do they think? What about this? You know, I worked very hard to erase that mentality of saying like, hey, but I'm not privileged enough, but they have this and I don't have that. I don't care. My only job in life is to get better every single day and make sure that I'm also happy and working towards financial freedom. Money does not make you evil in any way. And going out there again, you know, I remember this very early on. You know, I remember I took an L. When I was doing the whole sneaker thing, I bought some sneakers and I paid the guy a little more than it was actually worth. And that little relationship there made me a lot more money. Sometimes taking an L somewhere is going to help you somewhere else, okay? Not everything in life is money. All of this channel is about money, okay, guys? If you guys want to join me on my next call, well, link down below at Tommy Bryson. Calls are free. Click the link right there and feel free to schedule a call. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. And also, leave a comment down below and let me know what did you think about this call right here. And lastly, guys, before I go, well, that is it. Video right here. Click my face right here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, peace.